Association is for affordable housing. Could each of you define for us what you're talking about when you say affordable housing? What can you do to more of it?
I would like to jump in and deal with that one. Listen, I've been gone for 5.5 years, as I said earlier, and as affordable housing has become less and less, the movement of this government to get more of it has also become less and less. And so I think those who have sat here in those 5.5 years I've been gone should have been moving more aggressively. Bring back public housing, and if we can't get ourselves to be part of it, we'll do it ourselves. And what we'll do is we'll make sure, and I'm talking about, you're saying, what are you talking about affordable housing? Public housing is the 30% and below of the AMI. So we're talking about really people that are practically at the poverty level. And we need to be able to give them decent housing and also
I think that Ms. Schwartz is onto something with respect to in our public housing. We have a value house public units in our city. And there are by any measures up to 600 that are vacant or not utilized. And why is that important? It's important because we have a homelessness crisis which is crushing our city. And if we could, as recently as last week, when I was walking through a court meeting, I saw these 40 vacant units. These are single, double, triple, 4-bedroom apartments. And there's no reason in the world that we have habitable units that are empty in the middle of a homelessness crisis. So we need for this sense of urgency, we need the resources to help it.
Well, we know that affordable housing, what the target is that no person should spend more than 30% of their income on housing. And we know that thousands and thousands and thousands of DC residents are spending more than 50% of their income on housing, which means they are house poor. And so that is the definition of affordable housing. I would do several things. The first thing that I would do is commit to $100 million every year, sustainable. To making sure that we're renovating our public housing. Now, this is the thing. We have 8,000 units, and just about every one of them needs investment. Just about every one of them needs investment. In this government, you're right, the feds have backed up from it. So are we going to step up to the plate as a local government and use some of our housing production trust funds to invest in that public housing? I say yes.
Who you gonna vote for?
It's too much for not enough. That's my summary of the housing costs in DC. It's too much for not enough. They want too much for not enough.
Check the landlords.
Yeah, slumlords are out here.
Because they getting paid for nothing. For poverty. They're getting paid for poverty, basically. I have a crawler. She crawls. She's getting splinters, cracks in my floor. It's like I got a hole in my ceiling right now. It's been raining all week. The ceiling has been leaking all week. They have not come to fix it yet. You did an inspection. You told me that if anything failed on my behalf, that I'm going to get kicked out, I'm going to get fined, I'm going to get this, that, and the third. But what about your behalf? You failed on your behalf. But you ain't sent a notice to say I will be to repair that ceiling, I will be to repair that floor, or any of that. And I just got to sit back and, it is what it is. Because I already reported to you, then I report to the staff over you, They in the same, they trying to help each other out. They in cahoots. You want me to pay all this money,
and I live in a neighborhood where people get killed in front of my house and things of that nature. This night, it ain't even a safe neighborhood to live in, but you want to charge me arm and a leg.
My children witness people get shot on this street, but I gotta, I'm living from check to live here, but I can't guarantee my safety. Or I can't even sleep at night because you got people just out and about in your neighborhood. They don't even supposed to be in your neighborhood. You're not serving, protecting, and serving me, but you're demanding your money.
You want to re-sign the lease every year, but you're not even guaranteed guarantee that I'm gonna survive in your neighborhood or on your property. Not because of something that is not negligence, but because, you know, whatever. If I'm on your property, you're supposed to have security, be responsible for those things. I shouldn't be getting hit by stray bullets, or, drug dealers shouldn't be able to walk
You
through
don't
my
want to have
pocket.
security to watch out after
Exactly.
us,
So
but you want our money.
Although I do feel like I do get substandard treatment because I have a voucher versus if I was a regular tenant, there will be updates in the unit. They just do enough to get past so they can get the money from, the subsidy. I was on my job for 7 years. I made pretty decent money. It wasn't great money, but even with that decent money, it was very difficult to make sure that my rent was paid, gas, utilities, food. It's like I'm never able to pay all my bills current. So I'm able to pay some on this bill, some on that bill, just to make sure that they don't get turned off. I never have the luxury of being able to pay all my bills at one time. I'm always owing something. I can never get ahead.
Okay.
It hasn't always been that difficult. I'll say probably within the last 10 years, it has definitely become more difficult because the city has changed. It's not like it was. You have the population has changed. You have younger adults, younger families coming into the city, which I'm excited about. I think that's great. But at the same token, I want to be able to sustain, to be able to live here too. I shouldn't have to move because I can't afford to stay here. It's just frustrating. I love this city, but it's very expensive. I'll say I do favor Marion Bowser. I guess because one, I live in Ward 4. I have experience using and calling her office when I've had issues in my neighborhood, and she's always come through, so I can only talk about what I've experienced. And she's always been able